Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and on Facebook. Links in the description below. I recently ran into an old friend. I mean, not like I hadn't seen him in like 1,000 years, but it was like one of those, oh hey, what's up? Like those kinds of things. I hadn't seen this guy, I mean, in about maybe 9 or 10 years, and it was actually like nice to like catch up. But I think it was a little bit awkward for me on my end, as far as we were, I asked questions. How are things? How's life? How's it been going? I think because this is personal, because I think my life has moved in a very particular direction, between YouTube and investing and yada, yada, yada. I kind of assume, probably stupidly, that other people are like also like on it as well, that everyone's saving, that everyone's trying to make money, that everyone's, doing like financially responsible kinds of things. And he wasn't doing well at all, like not even like remotely. I won't tell you all of his business, but things aren't going well. He doesn't like his job. He's not making a lot of money. And I usually refrain from, this is a personal thing, I try to refrain when I'm talking to people, especially if I haven't seen them in a while or just in general. And I'm like, hey, you investing? You putting away money? How much money are you putting away? Like that kind of thing, because it's very off-putting. And I've noticed I can be like quite intense for a lot of people because I do tend to ask these questions. I think people think that it's me being rude or like I'm prying in some sort of way. But I just really want to know, like, are you okay? Because if not, like, not that I can help you monetarily, but I can show you all the steps. I can show you exactly what I did, so that basically you have an easier life sometime in the future. I think a lot of people, from my personal vantage point, I think a lot of people who I've met don't think about the future. There is no future. There is now. There's maybe tomorrow and maybe sometime in the summer when they have a trip or vacation kind of things planned. But not many people in my life think about months down the line, a year, or even 5 years. I mentioned that in an old video years ago. I give myself like a 5-year time frame for everything. Like when I want to accomplish certain things, so it's usually bundled in tens. Anyway, the point is that I kind of make goals for myself in order to basically make sure that I'm always moving forward money-wise and economically. And I'm seeing it's a pretty weird, terrible pattern that a lot of people that I know, come into contact with, have known for a while, see, talk to, Instagram, keep in contact with all these people. Everyone's broke. And not like joking broke, like I don't have it this month. And they're on like their last string and they're in their 30s, and I find it extremely weird that, like, personally, that there's not been like something's wrong. I don't want to live this way when I turn 40. I don't want to be the same exact way when I'm 50. I want to retire. I want to retire early. Let me save. Let me figure out a way to like kind of do this. And I think that's the point of this video. Okay, stay with me, and it's not difficult. I promise you, it's not difficult. It's not going to, cause you to go cross-eyed or go completely like, dizzy in the head. It's very simple things that you need to do, that you need to start to do, that you have to focus on. And this is literally what's going to help you out as you move forward in life. Like, this is like information for every single day of your life. You need to start figuring out exactly how much money you make per month. I thought that was simply a thing that most people kept track of. A lot of people don't. As a YouTube freelance, I don't know what I am. My money fluctuates every single month depending on how many views that I get, and I still keep track of everything. And I mean, I literally make sure that I know exactly how much I have, how much I'm going to get taxed on it, and then like the extra left over, how much like my living expenses are, and then how much I have to invest. Like, I have to do it every single month, and you should be doing the exact same thing. A lot of times money does get daunting and is scary to a lot of people because I think you don't want to have to look it in the face. You don't want to have to like make it a real thing. If you can simply exist and you know that like you're existing on the same exact line, you're miserable, but you're still existing, and you don't have to come to terms with it, what it means to actually like look at money, how to make money, how to deal with money. It can be very, very scary. I had a couple friends years ago. This one girl, she refused to look at her bank account. She couldn't do it. She physically could not do it because she was scared of what it would look like or how low that it was. And I was like, you can't do that. You can't overdraft because you're too afraid to look at it. She got a little bit better, but it didn't really help. You need to figure out exactly how much you're spending each month, down to the cent, down to the very last little cent. You need to know how much your rent is, how much your utilities are. Write all of this down. If you are like, I'm a writing kind of person. I mean, I'll have stuff digitally down in my phone, but I prefer like pen and paper, like to look at it. If that's you, write it down. You need to figure out exactly how much you're spending each month. You can figure out how much is coming in, how much money you're making, and exactly how much is going out. What are you spending money on? What can be cut? There's something that's wrong as for the reason why you're broke and why you don't have a lot of money. It literally usually comes down to the fact that you're probably overspending. With this information of how much is coming to you, you have to make a budget. You literally have to write it out. I mean, it's not like I said, it's not difficult. It's just the numbers. Know how much your rent is, your utilities, how much you spend on food. Are you constantly, this is personal, are you constantly buying things that you don't need? Are you constantly buying extra pairs of shoes, extra clothes I've known people my entire life who I grew up with, they would go shopping and they would buy the same shirt 3 times. Because just in case one got dirty, they would have a backup. And in case that one got a smudge on it. And I was like, you don't need, no. I need it. Because if this one messes up, like this one still looks brand new. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, you're just in our friends group. No one cares what you look like or how you're dressed. No, but I need it. It's like, okay. You go to their house, they have hundreds of pairs of shoes. I understand that people collect shoes and also invest in shoes. That's not what, you know what I'm talking about. Start budgeting, figure out the numbers. And I mean, if you are afraid to look at your bank account, you'll look at it and you realize it's not like a monster. Like it's not going to like jump out at you. It's just numbers on a screen that like you are making happening because you're also working constantly to make that money. You have to figure out your exact numbers. If you have, and I'll work this way, if you have any debts, pay them off now. Don't get into debt at all. If you have any debts, pay them off now. That ties back into the frivolous spending, which I know a lot of people are doing. We've talked on this channel before about overspending and doom spending. Doom spending right now is a major topic. There are tons of people who believe that they have no type of economic future, so therefore they're going to spend everything. It sounds nonsensical, but this is what they think. They think I can't own a home, I can't buy a house, I can't buy an apartment, I can't buy land, I can't buy, you name it, and therefore I might as well just spend everything right now. And people are getting into crazy amounts of debt. The U.S. personal debt, not U.S. country debt, personal debt is increasing by, I think, like 100 billion per, like it's like per quarter or something like that. It's something astronomical because people keep digging themselves deeper. And I've seen documentaries where people go, I'm 28,000 in debt. I mean, like what's 2,000 more? Some of these people are 22, 23 years old. I told you before, I know people who have like 15 credit cards. It looks crazy when they open up their wallet. It doesn't make any sense. And it's also difficult to try and bring that conversation to them because they know that they understand. They know that something's wrong, that something isn't correct. But it's also a very delicate topic and you can't just go to a friend and be like, you need to stop doing exactly what you're doing because people get super defensive. Don't get into debt. Like literally just don't ever do it. And I understand that some people who may have a mortgage, I'm not always talking necessarily about a mortgage. I'm talking about you want new shoes. You want to go on a vacation. So you're going to put 5,000 on a bunch of cards and or take out a loan from somewhere so you can go on vacation for 7.5 days, not really enjoy yourself and then come back sunburned. It's not, this is going to ruin your life financially. Like completely like decimate you because it's only going to continue following around and the majority of people do not get out of debt. I'm sure you've seen those really beautiful like inspirational stories online of I paid off $50,000 in debt and the video has 1.7 million views and you're like, good for her. Good for her. She's literally 1 out of a million, because most people want to forget it and don't think about it. You have to come face to face with it at some point. I would highly recommend, if you are having trouble with money, if you feel like you're broke, that you're just not making it, you have to find a side hustle. And I mean nothing. Listen, don't please, for the love of, don't follow these YouTubers who are telling you you got to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning before work, and you got to jog, and you got to work on your side hustle. At 8 o'clock, you're at work. While you're at work, you're working on your side hustle. When you come home, you take an hour-long nap, you wake up, you work on that. It's so disgustingly toxic. It's absolutely insane. As I've mentioned in other videos months ago, as a lot of people were just re-getting into the cryptocurrency space, I said, don't get into debt to get into the space. Start selling things that you don't need around the house. Consumerism is a gigantic thing. I just saw, I think it's 35 million Americans at least have some kind of like a storage container, like those like big places. I didn't realize that for those of you who don't know, like the literal, like, you know, you've driven by them, those storage containers, like with the big metal gates, and there's like 19 different shows about them. Some of these things are like $139.99 per month. I didn't realize that they were that expensive, but it makes total sense because they're going off of the fact that you keep buying so many things that you don't need. If you sell those things inside of there, you no longer have to pay that 100 and 140 was like one of the lower numbers. Some of them are like 400 or 500 a month for like those really big ones that you see like on the like the ones that go far back in the TV shows. Those are hundreds every single month. Sell stuff around your house that you don't need. Sell old things that you don't need. I'm not telling you to sell your memories. Just sell the crap that's around your house that you have no use for. Open an eBay account. Go online, find some other website and sell them. A lot of time, I had a lot of friends years ago who, especially like when inflation was like just beginning to get bad, and they were like complaining they didn't have enough money, like they weren't making ends meet. And I was like, did you ask for a raise? A lot of people, if you've been working at a job for a couple of years, you work there. You're doing the work. Don't feel afraid to ask for a raise. It's so many people are so afraid of money, but they treat it like it's absolutely nothing when they're spending it, so that they don't have to actually deal with it. If you find yourself at all overwhelmed with bills that you have to pay, a lot of people don't know this. You know that you can actually call the companies a lot of times and actually renegotiate for like a brand new rate on something. It happens quite often. I didn't realize before I was paying a lot for internet, and I got into contact with them, and I was like, there's a problem. Like, I can't be this. And I found out that not only could I get a faster internet, but basically like the one that I had also like dropped in price, and therefore because I had been a loyal customer or something like that, like I got it even lower. Find like, if you, now this is me being nice. If you have every single streaming service, maybe cut off all of them. You don't, now hear me out here. You don't need Netflix. You don't need Apple Plus. You don't need CNBC, ABC. You don't need what's the other one? Prime. And I'm missing about 6 of them. I understand that, you know, you like watching stuff on demand, but have you seen the prices of all of these things? A lot of times the documentaries that I watch, when like, and I mean, some of them are like pretty intense. I don't know if you've ever seen these kind of like UK shows where they go over people who have like debt and have trouble with their money, and they like discuss with these people, you know, hey, have you thought about doing this? Some of these people like have like a really difficult time because they're so used to like having things like literally on demand, not just a TV show, but like this very specific way of life, but they're miserable. You're $38,000 in debt, and you'd be saving a good chunk of money if you just cut off all the unnecessary things. There are tons of free streaming services. You may have to watch like ads on them. Do that instead. Watch YouTube, watch documentaries. There's so many other ways. This isn't meant to be a fix-all. Like, understand that this isn't meant to be a thing to try and like fix your entire life. But the problems are usually always the same. It's always overspending. You don't know how much you're making, how much is coming in. You are spending an egregious amount of money every single month on things that don't make sense. Do you remember that thing that I was telling you about before? What was it? I think it's if you spend, I think it was $27 a day, every single day on random things. Now you'll say, I'm not spending $27 a day on something. But at some point in the month, you're probably spending $300 or $450 like on something random that you think you need or you have to buy. You need this. I've seen so many people buying like bread makers and air fryers. And I'm like, you don't eat any of that stuff. They'll use it once or twice and then it's never, ever used again. These smoothie machines, these juicers. You use it once or twice. You have a couple friends over. You show them that you got it. You never, ever use it again. Sell it. Get rid of it. All that money, start saving it. Put it into a savings account. Put it into an interest-bearing savings account. Teach yourself to start saving every single month. It doesn't matter if it's, I mean, you should be doing more than 50, but if 50 is all you got, do 50, do 100, do 250. Keep saving. Keep putting your money to the side. I find it crazy, personally, and I think it's because I've been mentally traumatized by the way that I grew up. We didn't have anything. We were broke. We were broke. And I think that this is why I have such like a strong conviction when it comes to like saving and investing, is because I mentally and physically like never ever want to be in that position ever again. And I find it, I'm not a genius. I'm not someone special. I'm not some oracle. I don't have the fix all for everyone. And I find it odd often when other people kind of don't have that revelation. I'm 33. I don't want to live this way forever. My 40th birthday is next week. I don't want to be broke by the time I'm 50. You know how many people I've met who are in their 40s, 44, 48, and they don't have anything saved? They don't think about saving. If you ever watch any documentary about retirement, especially retirement in the US, you see all these people in the street, I don't know, I don't have any money saved. They don't want to think about it. They laugh and they chuckle it off and then they walk away, but it hits them hard. Of course they want to retire. You spent so much time making sure that you didn't pay attention to the things right in front of you that you had to pay attention to. Now you're traveling to disaster. And even then, you can be in your 40s and you can still save. You can still have a cushion. You can still invest. You can still put money away. I told you that documentary. This was sometime even before summer. I watched it. It was just crazy. This woman, I think she was 62 years old. She had never put any money away, and she was living off of basically like her government job pension kind of thing, like one of these savings plans. And she was maybe bringing in like $1,000 per month. And she found this place that she had been living for a while, 30 something years, had the same exact contract, and never conceptualized that she would need more. The camera crew was asking her, they were like, did you know about inflation? I heard about it once or twice. It never seemed to affect me. She didn't think that she would get older and need more than exactly what her rent was and how much food was. She had no money for insurance. This was the same documentary I told you where it was the 70-year-old couple, and at some point the guy behind the camera was asking her, he's like, did you ever see your life being like this? That you know, like you like strike a chord, that one hit her hard and she burst into tears. It's very rare that you watch a documentary where someone like, you know, kind of breaks and they go, oh snaps, he's right. She literally started flooding with, it was difficult to watch. She was flooded with tears and she was like, I want to be with my friends. She's like, everyone's on vacation. I see them on Facebook. They're all having a good time. She walks by her friends in the afternoon. She sees them at cafes and she's walking to work. She said, I can never retire. I will never retire. I will be working until my last day. There needs to be some kind of a sense of urgency from someone at some point. And even I know in making a video like this is not something that everyone wants to hear. It's not an easy topic to be confronted with and have to say, like, I need to start changing my life right now. I need to do better. I need to make sure that future me, like, pats myself on the back and I'm like, thank you for saving money. Thank you for putting stuff away. Thank you for figuring out, this isn't, I'm not pointing fingers at every single individual, because I've seen some comments before and people were like, I had to do this and so, and I'm like, I don't know everyone's specific line that they took in life. This is for the general, the 80-90% of people. You know exactly there's a reason why you clicked on this video. You know exactly who I'm talking about. You can get your life together. It's not too late. You're not too old. The bus hasn't left. There's like 50 other buses still behind you. They can take you to the exact same place. You can retire early. You can change your life. Watch videos about people in the FIRE movement. There's so many people who, they're not making an enormous amount of money, and they changed their lives. They cut all the fat, and they said, okay, we're going to hyper save. We're going to have our friends over for a movie night as opposed to going to the movies or going to a party or going to an event. I just saw something on Instagram where it was, I forgot what it was, but it was something along the lines of like, how much do you spend in a weekend or something like that? And people were like, I spend like $600 per weekend. And I was like, doing what? Wasting your money, giving it to another company, doing things that you shouldn't be doing to your body in the first place. It's nuts. If you really want to be shocked, the things that you do, and I mean as far as like Starbucks, eating out, I know a lot of people who do these things regularly. I know they're nice. I know they taste good. That's why all the chemicals are inside of it. It's to basically make sure that you come back for more. Over the course of a week, 2 weeks, write down every single time that you go to one of these places. If you get a donut, if you get a milkshake, I don't care where it's fast food, something like that. Start writing all these things down. Multiply it by 52 weeks in a year, and then multiply it by 10 for that like 10-year gap. And you will realize, and that's like a fraction of how much that you're actually spending. I've gone over that before with other people who actually don't even talk to me anymore because they think I'm judging them in some sort of way. The things that you do daily, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's like a daily thing that a lot of people do. Add those numbers up, because you'll realize that so from now in 10 years before where you were, you probably could have bought a house. You probably, and I'll even give you this one. You ever seen those videos of those people in Italy buying those like €1 houses? And then it takes about 30,000 to renovate them. A lot of you out there are now realizing, because it comes out to 3,000 a year, you could have bought a home in Italy overlooking the fields that had 3 or 4 bedrooms, or multiple other different countries. Start now. This isn't the end of your life. Like, this isn't meant to make you sad. It's literally to let you know, like, you can do it. It's not difficult. It's just about discipline and saving and putting money away and cutting like 7 different streaming platforms, because mathematically one of you has every single one of them and you don't even watch them. Right. I hope this helped. I hope you got something from it. Sincerely. I want everyone to do better. I don't want to go into the future and everybody's broke and doesn't have anything. I want to be able to do things with other people. I want everyone to have money and to live comfortably. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.